Good morning, yoga friends. Great to have you on board. We have Zoomers Zooming in and we have YouTubers YouTubing in. Anyway, we spend the first 5, 6 minutes lying on the back relaxing because it's Sunday Yin restorative class. It's great to have you on board. Relax, take a load off. My name is Greg, and I'm some guy that likes to help people relax and find their true self. So we'll do some movement, we'll do some prayer, we'll do some meditation, we'll do some yoga philosophy, but mostly we'll let the wavelengths of our mind slow down. Welcome to Zoomers, welcome to YouTubers. Nice to have you on board. Nice deep breath together. Breathing is the doorway, the portal inward. Always available to us, infrequently used, it seems. Obviously, I'm sitting, but I invite you to lie on your back and do corpse pose shavasana. If you'd like to sit and just meditate, of course, that's your prerogative. Anything that cultivates a calming and relaxation of the movement of our mind. Good. I suggest swallowing once, circling your jaw around, relaxing your jaw, releasing the throat. That's always an important physical junction of our body to relax. If you're on your back, feel your body weight sink into the floor. Just be a bag of bones. You don't have to hold yourself up for a few minutes. It's my class during the week where we really emphasize and cultivate a letting go, a surrender, a release into the flow of life. That does take a good deal of trust, doesn't it? Is there really an underlying, overarching, interpenetrating, loving power of this universe that will take care of us? I believe so. I've built my life upon that understanding. I can't live in a world without that. I've tried, it just doesn't work. A couple more minutes on the back. Maybe our breathing can move down to our belly button. We can make a meditation out of the rise and the fall of our belly button. This will help stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and relaxation response of our body. Plus, it'll probably just feel good, and that's good enough. No rush. Feel your feels, breathe your breathes. My crazy cat is in the kitchen ripping paper bags up, so I apologize for that sound. In fact, Oh, I just gave him a couple of cat treats. All is well. Where were we? We were breathing what we were feeling. We're feeling what we're breathing. We're relaxing. We're settling in. All is well. Everything is always working out for us. Maybe the breath grows a little longer, a couple of extra beats of inhalation and a couple of extra beats of exhalation. Good. 2 more minutes on the back. Welcome if you're just getting in. I see some more YouTubers streaming in, and the Zoomers seem to be filing into class now as well. Great to have you. Okay, now in the midst of lying on your back, relaxing deeply, please take a very, very big, deep inhale. Fill up your whole self, feeling all of your feels, etc. Big inhale. Exhale, let it all go. We call that emptying out, pulling the plug, draining the brain. Just calm and empty souls. Sunday is the class for cultivating peace. Of course, you might be watching this recorded, but right now is the moment for cultivating peace wherever you are. Okay, and wiggle your fingers and toes and conjure up, feel some feel good in your body and swish it through your nervous system. We actually can adjust, modify, upgrade our mood. We'd be in a rather dire condition of reality if we couldn't. So we certainly have that God-given ability to conjure, adjust, modify, upgrade our mood. And a good way to do that is wiggle your fingers and toes, circulate that feel good around your body. You'll get better at it over time, like anything. Good, then arms up to the ceiling, stretch your arms back up over your head and stretch out nice and long. Arms back, toes forward, writhe around, get that first thing in the morning stretchy feeling. Good. And then draw your knees in to your chest gently and just roll around a little bit on your back. We call it turtle. Just on your back, rolling around with your knees in, starting some movement. Other way. Good, yogis. And then let's sit up together. You may wonder why I call you yogis. There's a couple of reasons. One is if you're doing yoga, you're a yogi, but a yogi has a much deeper meaning. It's not necessarily somebody from a particular part of the world with a particular cultural background or a spiritual practice. It's someone who seeks. It's someone who's a deep seeker for the truth, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the self-realization of who we really are and where we fit in the scheme of things. If you do that, you're a yogi. So you could be in Poland, you could be in Tasmania, you could be anywhere on this planet. Anyway, great to see you. I got my cat shirt on today. If you're watching on Zoom, welcome. If you're YouTubing, watching live or recorded, it's great to have you. Please like and subscribe if you're YouTubing it. It makes a huge difference. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to say it. It's my goal to spread yoga and calm and peace as far and as wide around the planet as I can. And I believe that we can start a groundswell of people who are practicing peace. And the only way the world, Sting, the great musician, he has a wonderful line in one of his songs. He says, men go crazy in congregation, they only get better one by one. So by getting better one by one, by cultivating true peace inside of ourselves, we send out radiant ripple effects of peace everywhere we go, and it does make a difference. Okay, we'll chant an Om together. There'll be several chants of Om. I'm a huge believer in group sound, group vibration. Big inhale. We'll bring our hands into the heart to give a blessing for the class. Drop our chin, close our eyes. By the way, wherever you are on the scale from atheist to agnostic to spiritual to devout, those are usually the four main categories. Wherever you are, you're more than welcome, and I believe there's a unifying truth at the core of all of us. So God, love, source, being, infinite truth, whatever you like to be called, bless us with the movements, insight, and wisdom we need this day. Amen. So if you're new to me, we do some joint juice. If you've been practicing with me for 20 years, you know we're just going to go through the joints of our body, moving various parts. The good part about this is that this is yoga for everybody. Almost everybody can do these movements or some variation. So this is yoga for people at all levels. It's not about if you're the most flexible person in the room. It's about finding your own capacity. Other way with your shoulders. One, kind of rubbing my knees a little bit, warming them up. Almost all of my movements have a multitasking, multifaceted benefit to them. There's a method to my madness. There's a madness to my method. 6, 7, 8. Good job. Very nice. Now, when it comes to sitting cross-legged on the floor like this and leaning forward, some people are very stiff, and that's okay. You found the right class. If you have any yoga blocks, you might just lean forward into something like this. If you're a little more flexible, you might be able to come down a little further. But ideally, if you can support your head on something, if you don't have yoga blocks, don't worry about it. And of course, you can always just use your hands to support you if you don't have yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, go on Amazon right now and get a couple. So an easy position for me would be about right here. Now I can easily bring my head all the way down to the floor, but this class has a different tone, a different tenor. It's not about how far you can go into a pose. It's about how deep you can go into a pose, and there is a big difference. Close your eyes. Simply breathe. Take your time. In stillness, the never-ending movement of our mind can begin to slow down a little bit. The only way we'll ever get the movement of our mind, our monkey minds, as some people call it, to slow down is to practice quiet and peacefulness. When we take time in a pose, the mind goes through all of its gyrations, boredom, it complains, it begs to do something else. It tries to distract us with memories or projects or future or past. And we begin to discriminate between our mind and our being itself. We are not our minds. We're not our bodies. We have them, but we're not them. Three more breaths. As I begin to relax into this pose and give myself some time, I naturally just move my head down a little further, slow and steady. It's not a competition, it's not a race. Okay, and our next inhale will come up, and obviously we could switch the cross of our legs. All these poses are sort of built to suit the shape of your body. So after that first pose, I've moved my blocks down considerably. I like to grab my wrist with my other hand. Doesn't matter which one, behind your back. That's an option. Rest your head down, close your eyes. And then this becomes a yogic meditation where we sort of shape our body into a prayer for a minute or 2 minutes sometimes. An excellent practice is simply to feel the breath moving in and out of the body. If the mind begins thinking very important thoughts, just let them go in one side and out the other. Don't grab them. To some degree, we are stuck with ourselves, aren't we? There's that well-known saying, wherever you go, there you are. And of course, it's perfectly true. But unless we find a satisfying and fulfilling sense of self, we're stuck with ourselves, something less than that. So it's of greatest value to find peace, calm, equilibrium, wisdom, understanding, because then we're not stuck with ourselves. We're in relationship, we're engaged with ourselves. Good, half a minute more. Relax, easy does it. And on your next inhale, come on up. Excellent. All right. Off to a good start. And like I say, I believe chanting Om is one of the most healing, dynamic, wonderful things that humans can do. It works on so many levels. So you'll also notice when I chant Om, I do endeavor to extend the exhalation out. There's a reason for that. There's a physiological reason that comes from learning to extend the exhalation further, not in relation to anybody else, but to yourself. So if you like to try that, feel free. Inhale together. Feel that. In my experience, it's impossible to chant Om without experiencing a change of consciousness. It does, it's dynamic, it does something. Okay, we'll drop our chin down, we'll take our head around 6 times. 1, 2, very simple movements on Sunday, simple but profound. 3, 4, 5, 6, other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now, believe it or not, just let your head relax down with your eyes closed. I call it falling asleep in public pose. Chin relaxes down, eyes closed. It does stretch the back of your neck. The weight of the skull does that. And then if you know Ujjayi breathing, it's making a little whisper sound at the back of your throat. And if you don't know it, you just make a little teeny constriction at the back of your throat, still breathing through your nose, and it creates a soft seashell aspirate sound. It's very calming. Yogis have been doing it for thousands of years. It's the feeling at the back of your throat that you would feel if you were fogging a mirror with your mouth open, although we do this with our mouth closed. Good. Now, I invite you to say a prayer or an intention for your own self in this quiet position, asking, praying, seeking what it is you most want or need in your life right now. I'm a huge believer, proponent of prayer. I think it's our most powerful activity. So take a moment and pray for yourself as you will. Okay, and then more work on our head as we bring our head back up. I'm going to take my right fingers to the back corner of my head and gently tilt my head to the right. Some of these poses really build patience, calm, taking your time, and that's always been a challenge for me. I'm a go, go, go type A, always moving, kind of squirmy kind of guy, and so God assigned me yoga in this lifetime. So it takes time to slowly let the head relax over to the right, drop your chin, release your shoulders, close your eyes, relax your mouth. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, no distractions, no cell phones. Time to get to know yourself. To thine own self be true. Know thyself. Very good. And now we'll bring our head back up. We'll take our fingertips to the back right corner of my head, and we'll tilt our head left. Never yanking or being ballistic, but slow, patient drawing of the head over, taking time. Drop your chin, close your eyes, and please relax around your mouth. No expression to hold, no need to please people with our facial expression. This is you time, you and you, small self with infinite self. I believe we have a mortal body, a mortal coil, as Shakespeare said. but we also have a divine body that's not really embodied. It's the blending of those two bodies that brings about joy. It's the disconnection of those two bodies that brings about suffering. Yoga is bringing our two bodies together. Maybe you're doing this for the first time with me. Just follow along, have an open mind, be willing, be available, just follow along. It's no individual movement, it's the synergy of all of them together. The whole is greater than any part. Good, we'll bring our head back up. Excellent, good job. And place your hands up here and just roll them around like this. Really good for isms and itises of the hands. Keeps your hands frisky, fun, and fast. I learned this in pickpocket school. Thank God I don't do that anymore, although I do this. Just opening up, greasing up my hands, making them happy. And then you shake away cares and worries. When I golf, I see flocks of geese, and occasionally they get in fights with one another, the male geese probably. And when they're done fighting, they shake their wings to get the residual tension out, and then everything's cool again. Good. And then just wag your hands up and down. Medium, fast, slow, what's your speed? And then please cup your hands at your heart, drop your chin, close your eyes. Just breathe. Enjoy the astonishing miracle of being itself. That sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? But it's quite true. We live in a miracle and we forget. Okay, now I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to externally rotate them so the little fingers are on the inside. Then I'm going to place that in that position behind my back. And we're just going to stretch our hips up. Nothing extreme unless you're an extreme person and can't help yourself. But if you are one of those, maybe temper yourself. Otherwise, just lift up, head back, stretch the front of our body, which typically atrophies from just sitting all day long. Good. Sink on down. Now, switch the cross of your legs. Of course, you could do a more. Some people go flip into lotus, both feet on top, if you're one of those people. But most people aren't. So this is the class for most people most of the time. Lift up. We don't have to do insanely complex yoga poses with our one foot behind our head and the other one on the ceiling and balancing on one arm on the side of a mountain like they do in Yoga Magazine. Just some simple movements. Good. And come on down. Now, this cross of my legs is the most familiar one, so I'm going to revert back to this. Now take your hands, again, externally rotate, little fingers on the inside. Lean carefully down into your wrists. Some people, the heel of the hand comes all the way down. Some people no. But for me, right there is where I feel it. Drop your chin, close your eyes, go inside and breathe what you're feeling and feel what you're breathing. We're just not going to rush. We're not going to be in a hurry to get to the better poses. There are none. There's something that happens when you stay in a pose for a minute or two that can't possibly happen when we're doing fast yoga. And it's great that there's both kinds, but slow, patient yin style yoga is, I believe, crucially necessary. Sometimes I'll just oscillate a little left and right and just try to gently get into some of the deeper, tighter tissues. We all have a particular bodily karma. There's what we're going to be able to do with this body in this lifetime, but we don't know its upper limit, and we should seek and find what it's capable of doing. Okay, and then from here, we'll stretch our wrists the other way. We'll bring our feet together, arms out. Go into internal rotation like this, internal, arms behind your back. Bring your hands up to about the level of your heart. Put the back of your hands in your armpits like this, if you can. And if you can't get your elbows inside your knees, boy, have you found the right place. Otherwise, elbows inside your knees. And that's as close as I can squeeze my elbows together based on the shape of my body. But I have friends who can push the elbows all the way in together. It's just different. What matters is not where other people go, it's your own edge. Drop your chin, close your eyes. This is palmar flexion of our wrists, a very rare way of stretching your wrists for most adults. And that's why it's good to do this with me regularly. Good. Now you can just shift back to this cross. And now we'll warm up our angel wings. Follow me through these groovy movements. Arms out, go behind your back, go up your back, go under your arms, behind your neck. Poof, saying poof is optional. I'll leave that up to you. Up your back, behind your neck. Each one becomes a little larger. It's as if we're doing snow angels in the snow, and each one carves out a larger space. Of course, it's larger space, not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. What we do with our body translates into our thinking and our emotion, obviously. Good. Now, arms out, arms forward, palms up, pull in and give a little brush on the side. Go way back here, sweep around to the front, turn your palms up, pull in, this little energetic brush on the side. Smooth rhythmic movements of our arms, very rare for most humans. So just a little bit of this goes a long way. Back here, come around to the front. Now, as I pull my palms in this time, I'm going to rest my palms by the side of my side. I'm going to very gently wrap my thumb in my forefingers, very soft. Drop my chin, close my eyes. I know it sounds silly, just be. Even if you're thinking and busy and emotional, go deeper than that, go higher than that, go wider, go broader. Remember, we're infinite conscious beings having a human experience. There's always going to be something going on, but there's always something deeper. Good. Now open your eyes, push out through your hands, go out wide, note the flex of my wrist, circle, go back here, and brush forward. All the while I'm having this palmar flexion of my wrists. I circle back, way back here. Brushing my kidneys stimulates my parasympathetic nervous system. It's calming, it's soothing. Circle back and brush. Inhale for an Om. Remember, we like to extend it. Close your eyes. Sit with me for 1 minute, eyes closed. Feel the breath at the tip of your nose and stop thinking. You may find this the most difficult thing in the world to close your eyes and be inside of your own self. If that's true, it's the most important thing that you could do in this lifetime to learn to sit and go inside and be with your own state of consciousness. If we can't do that, then we're living a very, very shallow, superficial existence. It's not a judgment or a criticism. I've done it myself. Trust me. But there's a positive mystery, magic, and miracle available for the souls who are willing to go inside, be quiet, and find their true nature. Sometimes it's easier to do it with other people. It provides a certain sort of discipline that we might not have on our own. That's okay. That's a good thing. Okay, now we're going to kind of shift gears of our movement, but in order to facilitate it, plant your hands in your feet and just stretch the front of your body, lift up your bottom. Doesn't matter if you have an Olympic size Cirque du Soleil back bend. In fact, it means little. Just lift up the front of your body. Good. And come on down. Now we're going to do a pose, and over time, as you do more yoga with me, you're going to want to accumulate more blankets and bolsters and pillows, and you may or may not have them right now, but if you don't, just, go on Amazon, look at yoga props. Here are 2 yoga bolsters and 2 blankets. So I bet you have pillows or blankets or something, but it's an essential component of Sunday practice. So watch what I do here. The reason I'm doing this is we're going to go into a pose that, I don't know, if you're 13 years old and you're a gymnast, it's really easy to do the full pose. But if you're not, you need help. And so that's my job, is to explain how shapes can be built that make these poses available. So I'm going to show this from the side. What I'm going to do, you can do it if you want, but it's probably better to watch. I'm going to fold my right shin under. My left knee is out to the side. Now, I don't know, 30 years ago, I could easily lay all the way on my back, and it just wasn't a problem. It was just flop. But now, at my particular phase of my development, I put a bunch of stuff behind me, and I just rest my head back here. Now, that's tolerable for me. If you can't even get there, you can just lean back on your hands for about a minute, okay? But you're going to have to find something that works for you. So this class, it's participatory, meaning you find what you can do and you'll learn to get better at that. So the right shin is folded under, the left knee is out to the side. You can put a chair, a bolster, a blanket, an ottoman behind you. And for me, I have to build myself up this high. And if I do that, then I can begin to relax in this pose. If I were to do this for 10 minutes, my body would release enough and I'd be able to relax all the way back. I do not profess to be the most flexible yoga teacher. I'm not even close, but I am a yoga teacher and I teach. It's not so important what I do. It's what I'm able to convey to you that you can do. So right shin folded under, left knee out to the side, lean back on something, make it big enough, and learn about your own body. And now I'll be quiet for a minute as we let this pose work its magic on us. By the way, if you're a very flexible person, maybe you're one of my new YouTubers, and it's like, wow, it's really easy for me to put my right shin under and just lay on my back. Good, that's wonderful. We everyone's welcome, from the most flexible circus performers to the stiffest of the boiled owls. It's good that we have a diversity amongst us. It's not the size of the pose, it's the quality of it that matters. This is, by definition, I believe, the most challenging pose for adults, for adult Westerners who don't really practice yoga or move and maybe have gone many years without finding release of their body. So this particular shape, if you can learn to build it and begin to relax into it, it'll bring about an entire systemic revolution within your body as your body begins to unwind body part by body part. It takes time, but everything of value always takes time. Okay, 2 more breaths. Now, on your next inhale, we'll come up out. I'm sitting in the same pose. I've just brought my chest up. Now, I'm just going to turn to my right toward you guys. Now, it's a twist, obviously. Now, if you're very flexible, you could take this left hand down and grab your right ankle. I like to just grab my hip. I'll take my arm back here. I'll find something to support me. I'm just turning my torso to the right, closing my eyes. And this is a simple yin, Y-I-N, style of twist. These poses can't be forced. You can't use willpower. The objective, the intention of these poses is not to, it is to accommodate or find power, to align with it, not to use your own willpower. Inhale here, and then release from that. Now, everything down here stays the same. I'm going to fold forward at my hips. And if you're a really flexible person, 12 years old, you just come all the way down. And if you're an adult and you're just learning, you're just starting with me, you just get to about here, lean in. When you feel your right butt cheek start to lift, that's the law of diminishing returns. So you keep your buns down, relax your torso forward, use your arms to balance your torso, close your eyes, and breathe. Good, now come up. Now, this next pose, any sort of back bend is rarely held for a long time, but I'm just going to bring my hands back here. And just to counter stretch, I'm going to lift my hips up, and a little bit goes a long way, doesn't it? Lift up. Good. And sink down out of that. Now I'm going to show the other side of this pose face on. So I'm going to unwind my right shin out. Going to bring my feet together, get kind of back to ground zero. I'm going to take all of my bolsters and blankets, which help me get in this pose. I'm just going to use them from this angle. This might help friends watching online to figure out what I'm doing if you happen to be new. Now on this side, I'm folding my left shin under like this. See how my right knee is out to the side. And I don't know, a few years ago in my life when I was traveling around the country playing in professional Frisbee freestyle tournaments and was wildly flexible, I would just easily lean all the way back. But our bodies change over time. They might change even for the better. As I lean back, I'm now supported by my stuff, and I wouldn't call this the most comfortable pose in the world, but I would certainly call it one of the more necessary ones. And again, if you can't lean back all the way, just lean back on your hands, and maybe in a couple of weeks or a couple of months or a couple of years, your tissue will begin to open up and you'll find your factory installed range of motion. You'll begin to recover it and you'll be able to lean back further over time. But in the meantime, get yourself some bolsters, blankets, pillows, and have them available on Sundays. We begin to work together over time. I'd like to have an LTR. I'd like to have a long-term relationship with you. I'm not a one-night stand kind of yoga teacher. I'd like to get to know you, practice consistently over a long period of time. And you can get to know me, and I'll share with you what I've learned after doing yoga for 50 years now. The first few moments in the pose might be troublesome, but you breathe in, your body begins to relax, you begin to settle, your breath begins to smooth out, tight areas begin to release, loose areas begin to find the proper tone. Yoga is the art and science of aligning our body with its natural intelligence. 30 more seconds, breathe in, give it time. Okay, exhale all the air out. Bring your torso up, our lower body stays where it is. And now, do you remember what the next pose was in the sequence? Yoga helps build your memory. It was a twist, wasn't it? So we turn our torso to the left. Maybe our right hand grabs our right hip or our right ankle. Left arm behind us. Candy cane your vertebra to the left. Close your eyes. Chin level. Relax shoulders. Gently bring your body into a spinal twist. It's a good one because the lower body is fixed and it really isolates, identifies the spine and cultivates a good twist. Twist, squeeze out physical patterns, mental patterns, emotional patterns that are outdated, makes room for something new. Inhale here. Exhale, come out of this simple but profound twist. Now, down here stays the same. And then we lean forward, and our left hip coming up will be an indicator that we've probably found the maximum. So the hips stay down, bring your head down. Look out for edging to the right. Endeavor to come straight down. Close your eyes. Breathe into it. We're cultivating a mood. It's the one yoga class on the internet. It's the one class on YouTube where you just take your time. You do yin yoga, you restore. You're not asked to do cartwheels, hang from chandeliers, do things you can't do. You can do this. Very good. On your next inhale, come up. And that concludes that aspect. Every week we have a different theme, a different angle of movement, but inevitably we're going to go through all the joints of the body. So now I'll do a little cleanup work. It's always nice after each little segment or episode or chapter of class to chant an Om and let those energies be integrated or assimilated into our psyche soul being. Inhale with me. Remember to extend your Om. Inhale. Feel that. Drop your chin, close your eyes. Now comes the great prayer of acceptance. I accept exactly who I am, where I am, what I have, what I'm doing, my current conditions and circumstances, exactly the way they are, for I know that they are the perfect reflection of my current state of consciousness. Through acceptance, I can begin to move in the direction that my heart wants to go. Without acceptance, I'm stuck. Okay, and now, as Monty Python used to say, for something completely different, this simply involves, I'm going to move all this stuff off to the side. This is my favorite restorative yin Sunday twist. You may have done this with me many times. Maybe you've never done it before, but for me, it just gets gooder and gooder all the time. So you put a couple blankets or a bolster or a couple pillows out in front of you, and it's out in front of us. See it out here. Then we turn our knees to the left. We slide in with our right hip to the side of the blankets, pillows, bolsters, blankets. You put your right hand on the bolster to stabilize. We bring our knees and our ankles behind us. So I shifted my knees, and behind me, as I look behind me, there are my crossed ankles. So it really fixes the lower body. Both hands on the bolster. Note how I'm obviously turning my torso gently, but persistently to the right. Now I like to put my right hand down over here to support. I move the head of my bolster slightly to the right. I aim my cat shuttle t-shirt down to the bolster. And if you're new to this, it's going to be a challenge to come all the way down. You're going to have to take your time. Maybe you need two bolsters. If you're really flexible, just slowly come down, right ear, arms out, and believe it or not, just relax. Let your body mold into this shape in the same way that water finds its own level. 2 minutes. This pose is stronger than you think. It goes deeper into the body, a gravity assisted twist. It goes in layer by layer, layer by layer. As we become more open and more layers become available to us. Okay, staying in the pose, a very, very, very big, deep inhale. Exhale, release. Let your bones go a little more. Now pull your hands into the side of your chest. Wise to come out of a squishy pose very slowly. Yeah, we take our time. We're not in a rush to go from pose to pose. We unwind our legs from behind us. We rearrange our bolster back to 12 o'clock high. We sit in front of our bolster, squaring everything up. All right, you ready for side B? Every pose is cumulative. More and more relaxation, more and more depth builds over the practice. Take your knees over to the right. Bring in the side of your left hip to the bolster. Brace yourself on your left hand. Fold your knees and ankles around behind you. I like to cross my ankles, my left ankle up over my right ankle. Then I put both hands on the bolster and lean back, stretching the side of my body, prepping my body for a more deep, more relaxing twist. Then I'll put my left hand over here, beginning to initiate a twist. I'll move the head of the bolster, the far end, slightly over to the left. And my cat shuttle t-shirt from belly button down, I'm going to aim it down into the bolster. If you're new to me, or if you found the right class, come down slow. If you need two bolsters, two pillows, that's fine. If you're learning about this one, come down, face down. And the relaxing version is left ear. And then relax your elbows and simply accept 2 minutes of letting your body find its natural release and shape in this pose. Don't you love this kind of yin restorative yoga where you can take time, you can heal, you can calm, you can soothe, you can restore? We humans need this. We can't go, go, go all the time. All right, big inhale, staying in the pose. Exhale, relax your bones. Release more. Good. Now bring your hands in by the side of your chest. Come out of this chapter of class very slowly. It just makes sense. And we'll unfurl our legs back around to the front. Now we're in the Om stretch, a couple of finishing ideas that I have that to me really cultivate a calm and peaceful soul. So I'm going to extend my left leg out. I'm going to put my right ankle over my left knee. Then I'm going to fold my left shin under. Now, if this pose doesn't work for your body, if your hips, knees, ankles aren't open enough, it's some painful variation of like, ouch, then just sit regular and put a blanket underneath your bum, and then sitting on the floor with your legs crossed will get easier over time. That may take some time, but what else you doing, right? It can either be 2 years from now and we can be tighter, more stiff, more restricted, more unhappy in our body, or in 2 years from now, we can be more flexible, loose, free, and easy within our body. I suggest the latter. Otherwise, extend your left leg out, right ankle over your left knee, fold your left shin under. This pose takes a while to develop, but I just gave you the option, didn't I? Now, a very important thing for our arms. Arms out, our shoulders, neck and back. Bring your right arm under, grab your shoulders like you're making out with yourself. This might be your capacity. If you can then fold your arms up and bring your hands into prayer, then you go up and down with your elbows, and it loosens the most chronic kind of neck, back, and shoulder tension and holding that almost all humans are subject to. Sometimes I take my elbows around in a circle. Sometimes I almost kind of try to straighten my arms, but I'm moving and I'm digging out painful tension, holding, trauma, PTSD that I have. Most of us have got something, and that's where it went to hide. So I'm moving up and down, left and right, breaking it open slowly. Breaking it open may not be the right term, but you get the right idea. Now, take your chest and your elbows and face all the way to the right. Turn your face all the way to the left. Tilt your head to the left. Drop your chin. Close your eyes. And you might consider saying these mantra inside of your head. I am a calm and peaceful soul. Everything is always working out for me. And what's the best that could happen? What's the best that could happen? I'm going to learn to use my imagination, my creativity, and my visualization in my favor rather than against me. What's the best that can happen? Your brain will begin to find those answers. Hold here. We are calm and peaceful souls. Good. Now bring chest, face, elbows back to the center. Slide hands out to your elbow. Bring it up. And as a professional life coach, I talk to people, thousands and thousands of people over the years. This is called reframing. By the way, leave me a message on YouTube or Zoom if you like to have one of amazing transformational talks. Good. Bring your elbows down. Now take your opposable thumbs into the middle center bottom of your feet. Massage in gently, mildly, perhaps medium into the middle center bottom of your feet. Well-known pressure point to the body. Hold steady pressure. Close your eyes. Let's Om together. Let's go Om together. Be still and know that you're God. Good. And the other side, and then we'll do a 7-minute delicious restorative Shavasana together. Remember, just switch the cross of your legs if this is not available. Right leg out, left ankle all the way outside of your right knee, over on the side. Hold your right shin under. Your body will grow and accommodate into this pose over time. It's a very strong, dynamic pose. Arms out. Now left arm under. Just grab your side or your shoulders if you can. If that's as far as you can get, kind of move your elbows around. If your arms then continue to fold up into what are called eagle arms, ups and downs with my elbows, maybe some circles, maybe some ovals. But man, oh man, I'm going to participate in the release and the freedom from the restriction that I unwittingly put into my neck, back, and shoulders. Some ups and downs, some lefts and rights. Oh boy, it gets tight back there, doesn't it? Now, take elbows, chest, face to the left. Then just your face to the right. Tilt your head to the right, drop your chin, close your eyes. Let these mantra vibrate through you. I am a calm and peaceful soul. Everything is always working out for me. And my favorite question, what's the best that could happen? My brain loves that question. It'll give me a ton of good ideas. The question, what's the worst that could happen? My brain will come up with that. My brain is a tool. And as yogis, we learn to use our brain wisely. So what's the best that could happen? Good, now bring this back here. We'll reframe, hands slide to elbows. And see life from a new angle. Life is a matter of perspective. Change your perspective, change your life. We've all heard that. The question is, do we practice it side to side? Good. Now bring your elbows down, thumbs, middle, center, bottom of your feet. Massage in, get your attention. Dig in, hold steady pressure. And now the biggest, deepest, fullest, most rich, resonant Om ever of our whole lives, so to speak. Inhale. See how your ohms are becoming more rich, deep, and resonant, powerful, vibrational, and healing just in one class? I bet you do. Now, this is the dessert at the end of class. Don't skip this. So this is going to go underneath my knees. This is my blanket for my neck. I'll move this out of the way so that you can see it. Move that detritus out of the way. If you build this properly, they will come. So, knees over the bolster, blanket roll underneath my neck. This is corpse pose Shavasana. Yogis have been doing this for thousands of years. Why don't we join them? Close your eyes, and 7 minutes of absolute, perfect, complete letting go, floating downstream, healing, aligning, surrendering. Pose starts now. I apologize if you see me using my phone during class. I'm managing the logistics and the YouTube I try to keep it to a minimum. You don't have to pay. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. You relax, enjoy your life. And I'll enjoy it with you. Peace, be still. Okay, now stay in the pose, relax even more. And this is something I do in every Sunday sacred self-care class. I give you the opportunity, if you choose, to invite God, love, source, spirit, infinite higher organizing principle, whatever you call God. I don't think God minds as long as we call upon. But if you'd like to invite your higher power in, this is a beautiful time to do it when there's a nice blend of soul and spirit. God never breaks into our life, never violates our free will, but if we use our free will to invite God in, so to speak, God comes rushing in. Wisdom, insight, love, healing, guidance, all the best. Good. Now, if you prayed that powerful prayer with me, wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate a fresh today's batch of love, light, source, spirit through your body. Extra super feel God, I call it. I believe we're God's nerve endings. We're cells within the body of God, love. Truly believe that. I build my life on it. Good. Now, nice deep breath back in your spacesuit, your earth suit. Curl onto your right side when you're ready. Curl over onto your right side for a moment. Love all over yourself. Good. Now, keeping your eyes closed, it's essential. Keep your eyes closed when we sit up. It keeps this internal, blended, unified, vibrationally resonant feeling going. We're so much more one than we are different or separate. We're one, but we're not one and the same. As we sit up with our eyes closed, this nice way of concluding, hands come into the heart, chin drops, connecting the feeling of head, hands, and heart, thought, feeling, and action. And I say emphatically that if you go deep into you, I go deep into me, we come to the same place together. The yoga word for that is namaste. Wow, what a great class. As always, I always bid adieu, arrivederci to the YouTubers first. So thanks, YouTubers. Please like and subscribe. It would do me a huge favor. Also, share it with others. Before you know it, we'll spread yin yoga and relaxation, healing and peace around a planet that sorely needs